Welcome, and thank you for joining us today on Connect, Moments of Encouragement. This is our midweek video to connect together and hopefully share some encouragement with each other. We just want to encourage you that if you're watching us on YouTube, to please make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below. And if you're watching us on Facebook, please make sure that you like us, Auburn Church of the Nazarene, so that you can be notified when new videos come. I'm so excited for this new ministry and this time that we have to come together to encourage each other. And also, we really want to encourage you to leave questions and comments below in the comment section. Last week we had a little bit of a problem with the comment and questions section on YouTube not working, and we were able to fix that this week, so I believe that you can start leaving those questions and comments now. And we would love for you to do that, or if you would rather email them to me, you can certainly do that at dthomas@auburncn.org. All right, thank you again, and let's go ahead and get started with our connection moments of encouragement today as we start talking about a verse that has been really near and dear to my heart. Have you ever experienced pain in your life? I think we all can relate somehow when it comes to physical pain. I remember a few years ago when I was having terrible back issues, several people had come up to me and said, "Doug, we know exactly what you're going through." They knew exactly what I was feeling at the moment that I was feeling it. In fact, I had a friend that would experience things a month ahead of me, and I knew what was coming down the pike for me. And people were very encouraging, but that physical pain was just so deep, and it hurt me to the very core of who I was. In fact, I can remember asking people to please maybe hit me in the side of the arm or do something so that it could just take my mind off of my back pain. It hurt that bad. But nothing seemed to help that I did. You know, we can all relate to pain somehow. Have you ever been hurt by someone else in your life or by maybe situations in your life? Maybe something that was done to you or said about you or even said to you. Or maybe the pain came from the loss of someone very significant to you. Or maybe the loss of something very significant in your life. And that pain that you feel is so great. You know, we've all had our heart broken in some way. Maybe by disappointment, fear, shame, rejection, ridicule. Question is, what do you do in those times? I mean, for many of us, we turn to a variety of things that help us cope. Some of us turn to music to help us cope with situations. Sometimes we eat when we're sad. I know that's one of the things that I tend to look at and do. Or maybe some of us just get on our phones just to veg out in order to help us cope with certain life situations. And all of these things are really looking within ourselves. But God tells us to look to Him. But why? Why does God tell us to look to Him? Why should we look to God when we are going through heartbreaking, crushing moments in our life? Well, Psalm 34, verse 18 tells us exactly why. In fact, it says that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and He rescues those whose spirits are crushed. Brokenhearted, crushed spirit. You know, when you read this language and you get back into the original language and the writing of this, these two phrases, brokenhearted and crushed in spirit, literally means when we are weakened or destroyed in our spirit, in the depths of who we are, when we feel weakened or destroyed. In fact, that original language here gives three areas that are understood as the heart: our mind, our emotions, and our conscience. All three of these are understood as our heart. So when our heart, when our mind, when our emotions, when our conscience, when we are weakened and feel destroyed, it's there that God promises that He comes, and He comes extremely close to us in those moments. And really, the only thing that we can really do is to call out on His name and be still in Him. which is very tough to be still. Many times I know we wish that we could escape the trials. Many times we wish we could escape the pain of grief, the pain of loss or failure, or even the everyday frustrations of our life. We want to escape those things. We don't want to really go through them. And as much as we wish we could escape them, because they feel like they wear us down constantly, God promises to come close to us. He promises to be our source of power, of courage, of strength, and wisdom to be able to help us through times such as that. You know, a lot of people will say, well, the Bible says that God won't put on me more than I can handle. You know, that's actually not correct. The Bible actually never really says that. However, what it does say is that when those situations come out, that He will provide a way out, that He will help us to come through those times. That when situations come into our lives that want to break our hearts or to crush us, that He will be right there walking beside us so that we can lean on Him. You know, if we could do it ourselves, then the question becomes, what's the need for a God that comes close to the brokenhearted? And the thing is we can't. We think we can, but we really can't do it ourselves. And we do need God to come close to us when our hearts are breaking and our spirits are crushed. We do need to lean on Him and trust in Him and know that God understands these feelings. You know, I'm sure that His heart was crushed when He saw His one and only Son, Jesus, dying on a cross. I mean, that's why He has promised to come close to us. You know, there was a song written a few years ago called Scars by a group titled I Am They. And this song speaks to the pain that we go through in life and that God will bring us through if we only trust Him. In fact, the song opens up by saying these words: waking up to a new sunrise, looking back from the other side. I can see now with eyes open wide, darkest water and deepest pain. I wouldn't trade for anything, because my brokenness brought me to you, and these scars are a story you will use. So I want you to hear this today. At this moment, if your heart has been crushed, you have felt brokenhearted in the past or even right now, hear this. Jesus is walking right beside of you right now through everything that is happening in your life. And I want to encourage you that when you go through these tough circumstances, pain, grief, loss, hurts, I want to encourage you to cry out His name and experience the peace that only He can bring. Because peace really isn't the absence of trouble, but rather it's the presence of God in the midst of the trouble. So as we end our time today, I just want to read Psalm 34 out of the Message translation, and it says it this way: so if your heart is broken, you'll find God right there. And if you feel kicked in the gut, He'll help you catch your breath. Lean on Him, trust Him, and experience His peace. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for spending a few moments with us today. Again, please leave your comments and your questions below, or you can email them to me, and hopefully in future videos we will be able to answer those. Well, thank you, and have a great and wonderful day.